Good day. I'm John Harrison, and on behalf of Arlington Community Media, we are going to speak to Dr. Mohamed Soliman of Egypt. He is in Japan 6 months into a 2-year assignment at Ritsumeikan University in Kyoto under the auspices of the Japan Society for Promotion of Sciences. His mission is to learn technology of the university, which he will take back to Alexandria to learn through this technology more of the ancient city of Alexandria and the Library of Alexandria, once the repository of all that was known about the world at that time. Welcome, Dr. Soliman. Thank you for joining us. And to begin, please tell us about your career and explain your mission in Japan in greater detail.
Okay, but well, thanks so much for this very nice introduction. Basically, I'm archaeologist. I've graduated from Alexandria University. I'm getting my PhD from Egypt in Islamic archaeology. And after that, I have been employed to Supreme Council of Antiquities of Egypt. And now I am in Japan for, as you have mentioned before, about for 2 years as a fellow for GSBS. So I am here for promoting my research using advanced technology, Japanese technology in archaeology for achieving sustainable development goals. About my case study, it is about Alexandria of Egypt. So I think this kind of collaboration would be beneficial for both sides of Egypt and Japan. Okay.
And how did you get this opportunity of collaboration? How did that start? When did it begin?
Actually, GSBS fellowship is a very competing fellowships all over the world. The most difficult one, because so many scholars who getting PhD are seeking to get that postdoctoral fellowship, but so many few of them get succeeded. So I have applied over 3 years for 4 times, and this is my successful one to get that by applying and get in contact with Japanese scholars and my professor here in Ritsumeikan University. So they supported me so much to get that, scientifically, of course.
So that, and then the objective of the project ultimately is?
The objective of my research or my project is using advanced technology for preservation of archaeological sites, dedicatedly Alexandria, old Alexandria, and how to get that data for observing urban planning and urban change, of course, in the same time, and also for planning in the future for sustainable development of old Alexandria within the frame of old Alexandria.
And then what kind of technology do you use?
Basically, we use here in Ritsumeikan University all applications of GIS, remote sensing, and also geophysical application. But this part of geophysical application, I will travel to Egypt sooner, maybe after COVID-19 would be finished. I will travel there to implement geophysical application in old Alexandria.
And I just should mention, you are walking the streets of Kyoto right now, and yeah. As you've told us, it is a holiday in Japan, and yeah. That's the reason mostly why the streets are empty, and not particularly because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's true. Now I'm walking on the main street forward to Badaidori, forward to Ritsumeikan University, and we'll pass through that street with some magnificent archaeological sites or historical sites in Kyoto. And due to the COVID-19 and the holiday, we find the street today is a little bit, or maybe entirely empty.
Yeah, that's surprising. But
Yeah.
yeah, but what outcome do you expect or hope for ultimately for both Egypt and Japan in with this project, with this mission?
I think within this mission, this mission represents a new type of collaboration between Egypt and Japan in field of archaeology, because not usual for archaeologists to use such as this very complicated and rich technology in archaeological research generally. But when we use it for sustainability, this will provide or promote such a this project to be improved in the future for both sides, or get another type of collaboration with both states, both countries.
And you've been in Japan. I guess this is your third time. You've said that you've been in Japan.
This is my third time.
So, what has been your experience as an Egyptian in Japan culturally?
Actually, during my first visit here, I have been shocked when I see the first. Actually, it's my first time to travel abroad outside Egypt. It was my first trip was here in Japan, so I get shocked with entirely different people, entirely different country, entirely different concepts, as you know, probably, John. But I find the Japanese people are very disciplined, punctuate, and love their culture and preserve their uh, heritage very well. So, and on the other hand, due to other features of culture here, you if someone wants to visit or live in Japan, he has to get maybe few or a little bit of overview of Japanese language, basically, because it's not common for a Japanese to speak in in other languages. For common or the great major of Japanese don't speak other languages. This is my first impression about Japan. And second thing, you have to be so sensitive and so disciplined and respect their laws and regulations. If you get succeed in that, you will be insider. And that is very important for Japanese community. That is the point. But the funny thing is about daily life, mainly food, of course. It's difficult for Egyptian to get used to Japanese food because basically Japanese kitchen is depending on seafood. So all the time you have to eat fish and other stuff of seafood. On the other hand, of course, there is other types of food, but not so familiar for Egyptian. So that is the problem.
Well, okay. It is Kyoto is a cosmopolitan city for the most part, isn't it?
Actually, Kyoto, my impression about Kyoto is not cosmopolitan as much as it is historical city of a historical capital of Japan. So you will find all type of heritage of such as tangible and intangible heritage equally. So you'll find heritage even in the soul of people. So I don't see it's so cosmopolitan, but it's very preserved city.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now you are in Japan right now during an unprecedented virus. How has this affected your work and your daily activities?
Actually, all activities such as workshop, conferences inside and outside Japan have been delayed or postponed or even cancelled due to COVID-19. So I cannot go anywhere outside Kyoto due to the state of emergency that had been declared by Japanese government. So it's affected negatively on my mission here, but there is another part I am working on. No need to move out of Kyoto, such as applying GIS or remote sensing applications.
So you're able to do your daily activities in the university pretty much unimpeded by this, pretty much, or?
No, actually, my university here is closed due to the state of emergency, responding to that. And probably we will return after 6th of May. Maybe. We're not sure until now.
Yeah, it's like all over the world.
Yeah.
Well, what do you expect after finishing your tenure as a JSPS fellow?
Hopefully to resume my research here in Japan, but I have to get back to Egypt. But in that case, if I will return back to Egypt, I will work to enlarge and support my scientific network with Japanese scholars, which who I have already so much of them, for getting more collaboration in many aspects.
So, and do you expect to return to Japan? Will there be, will you need to do more work? I mean, even though you're going to be there another year and a half, but looking forward, do you expect to have to come back to Japan to continue this project, or after the 2 full years, you feel the project will be finished?
No, hopefully I'm planning to get returning back to Japan after the 2 years, because one of benefits of GSBS fellowship is serving at a kind of sustainable collaboration with Japanese scholars and universities. So it's very important for me to continue that within GSBS and other Japanese support.
So you expect the current and future cooperation between Egypt and Japan? Are Japanese scholars coming to Alexandria or coming to Egypt to work with you in Egypt at some point, or have they already, or what is that like?
Yeah, actually, I've already got a Japanese network of scholars. They are friends now, not only just colleagues. We have started working in Egypt 3 years ago, or 4 years, or more than 4 years ago, but in very small projects, pilot projects maybe. But for the case of Alexandria, as major the case study of this little bit huge project, my professor Kejiano, the supervisor of my project here, will visit Egypt with me. By the way, it will be his first time to visit Egypt, so it's very nice for both of us to know that. And also other Japanese colleagues here is collaborating with me in that field. So I invited them to visit Egypt during the field trip in maybe after COVID-19. Yeah.
And when they come to Japan, will it be? I mean, when they come from Japan to Egypt, will they be primarily in Alexandria, or will you go to several cities and sites in Egypt once they are
Basically,
there?
Alexandria is my home city, by the way. So also, but I have to visit Cairo as well, because one of my objective is collecting data from former Egyptian association, such as Statistics Authority and NARCES, NRIAG, and other, maybe Urban Harmony, of course, other official associations to improve and support the outcome of my project.
So this project, though, it seems like this is going to be something that's going to be going on for years. There's a lot to this project. It's a big project with many moving parts. So you are going to be involved in this, it seems, for quite a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but well, the major objective of that project is not for saying for people that's our heritage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's nice to say to people we have a heritage. Already, all of us knows our heritage, but this is not the point. The point is how getting benefit from this heritage for our recent life and for the future for other generation. How to preserve this heritage and also how getting improve and or serve sustainability or achieving sustainable development goals within frame of preservation is very important. And mostly historical urban fabric of Egypt, most of them are suffering of that kind of conflict between authenticity and the modernization. I think my mission is how to find that sort of collaboration between both of them, how to find or and convince people with coexistence between authenticity and modernization. I think this is the philosophy of this project. That
And
what
do you feel that is happening? Are you confident of that as this program continues?
I think so. I think so,
Good.
because all of that, all of outcomes and result of that project, we will convert it into implemented projects for, of course, for um, a small area in Old Alexandria in collaboration with Alexandria government. That we hopefully we are going to do.
Now, are you or any of your colleagues working at other universities to this same end, or is it just the university in Kyoto that's involved in this project?
No, this is I'm the only one.
So that's the only country, Japan. Do you think there will be others in the future to enlarge on this project, or is it, as far as you can see, only this association with the JSPS and your country?
Actually, GSBS, if you are talking about that kind of fellowship, is open for all fields or all majors. But for archaeology, I think I'm the only one who getting this fellowship as archaeologist because it is very competing. As you know, probably John, Japan is interested in basic sciences more than humanitarians. But in this type, I think it is a prize for archaeology, not only for me, to getting this very competing fellowship. Hopefully, I hope for all archaeologists, Egyptian archaeologists, is getting fellowship, GSBS fellowship to resume and improve that kind of projects.
Have there been any big surprises, unexpected things as part of your research and as part of this mission that really surprised you that you never would have expected, or have things gone along pretty much as you expected?
Actually, day by day, I find more surprises. That is a fact. Basically, my university here. Actually, I like this university so much, and my professors they are very supportive, and this over all needs or requirements for improving and promoting these projects, such devices, required devices, softwares, and getting other collaboration with Japanese scholars all over Japan, not only in Kyoto, such as Tsukuba University. I have a good collaboration with them, or Tokyo University, and also Tokyo University for Foreign Studies, language study. So I think I have a good chance, and I'm lucky to get this fellowship, especially here in the University.
That's very, very, very interesting indeed. Do you have anything else you would like to add before we part?
First of all, I hope COVID-19 will be finished as soon as possible.
As do
And
we all, yes.
yeah, to continue our ordinary life. The second thing that I want to tell everybody, don't lose your hope, because I was struggling, fighting for over more than 3 years to getting GSBS fellowship. That means I have failed 3 times before getting this successful one. And for young researchers, I want to say to them, and also my colleagues, you have to get a concept of how to be always new. I think that's very important for any scholar.
Yes, you're right, and you seem to embody the truth that perseverance wins in the end, and that's that reinforces my now in a few months or something to see what has happened in the meantime, and by that time, coronavirus should be a thing of distant memory, hopefully. But meanwhile, continue your research, and thank you for taking the time to speak to us about what you're doing. This has been very, very interesting indeed.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you for a very interesting interview and for talking with you as well. And hope everybody, including you, of course, be safe away of any diseases, mainly COVID-19. Yeah, thank you so much indeed for the very interesting.
You're welcome. This has been great.
So
thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Soliman.
Thank you so much. See you.